In the realm of global finance, one currency has long reigned supreme: the United States dollar. For decades, it has been the benchmark against which all others are measured, the safe haven in times of turmoil, and the medium of exchange for international trade. But on one fateful day, this dominance was threatened, bringing the global economy to the brink of collapse. The late 20th century saw a significant shift towards global economic interdependence, with international trade increasing exponentially. The dollar, being the global reserve currency, was at the heart of this system, facilitating transactions and investments across borders. However, this interconnectedness also meant that any instability in the U.S. economy could have far-reaching consequences. In the early 2000s, a housing market bubble, fueled by subprime mortgages, began to form in the United States. Banks and financial institutions, eager to profit from the housing boom, extended large amounts of credit to unqualified borrowers, packaging these risky loans into securities that were sold globally. The stage was set for a catastrophic collapse. On September 15, 2008, Lehman Brothers, one of the oldest and largest investment banks in the world, filed for bankruptcy. This event sent shockwaves through the financial system as the value of the mortgage-backed securities held by banks and investors plummeted. Suddenly, no one knew the true value of these assets, and trust in the financial system began to evaporate. The week following Lehman's collapse was one of unprecedented turmoil. Banks stopped lending to each other, fearful of counterparty risk, and the commercial paper market, crucial for short-term corporate funding, froze. The Dow Jones plummeted, and with it, the value of retirement accounts, savings, and investments of millions of Americans. On the morning of September 18, 2008, the dollar was on the verge of collapse. The lack of trust in the financial system had led to a run on the banks, and the Federal Reserve was faced with the daunting task of restoring confidence. The Treasury Department announced a plan to buy up to $700 billion in troubled assets, but the question on everyone's mind was, would it be enough? In an unprecedented move, central banks around the world coordinated their efforts to stabilize the financial system. They cut interest rates, provided liquidity, and implemented quantitative easing. This global response helped to calm the markets and prevent a complete collapse of the financial system. The U.S. government passed the Troubled Asset Relief Program, TARP, authorizing the Treasury to purchase or insure up to $700 billion in troubled assets. Additionally, fiscal stimulus packages were implemented to boost economic activity. These measures, though controversial, helped to stabilize the financial system and pave the way for recovery. The crisis highlighted the need for stronger financial regulations. The Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act was passed in 2010, aimed at improving financial stability by regulating systemic risk, enhancing consumer protection, and introducing stricter oversight of financial institutions. Despite the severity of the crisis, the U.S. dollar emerged resilient. However, the experience marked a turning point in global finance, with countries exploring alternatives to the dollar and international institutions promoting a more diverse and stable global currency system. As the global economy continues to evolve, the dollar faces new challenges, from the rise of digital currencies to the increasing economic influence of China. Yet, it also presents opportunities for the United States to lead in shaping the future of global finance. The day the U.S. dollar almost died marked a pivotal moment in global financial history. It exposed the vulnerabilities of an interconnected world and the dangers of unchecked financial speculation. But it also showed the resilience of the global economy and the power of coordinated action in the face of crisis. The story of the dollar's near-death experience is one of caution and hope. It reminds us that even in the darkest moments, there is always the potential for renewal and growth.